Alright, what's up, guys? This is Ninja on Ninja, and basically, this is a League of Legends video. It's a gaming related video. So what I want to tell you guys is the system is fucked up, right? The gaming system is fucked up, just like in real life, everything's fucked up, right? There's no balance. There's no coordination. There's no semblance of reality. There's no. That's what they want. They want chaos because chaos will not let a building be created. That's why in nature you don't see big buildings except for like biohazards or like what are they called? I'm trying to think of the wood chippers. What do they call it? They build dens and they're huge fucking dens that they cut logs and shit. Anyways, the point is that chaos, okay? In nature is chaos, but in civilization, in reality, like this is us being animals. Animals is life. That is life. Life finds a way. That's the secret. That's the reality. And in competition, that's why people will be like, ha 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 ha, that's stupid. But next week, when balances come out and the system changed, the next thing you know, that is not stupid anymore. Okay? So, League of Legends. In League of Legends, people want to play anything and everything. And I, when I first started, thought that people were more responsible. I thought people understood reality. I was wrong. I didn't know that. I didn't know that people didn't know that they had a job to do. I didn't know that, and this is what this video is about. It's because you have a job to do, right? And so I know this because when I played World of Warcraft, it was very obvious then. Like I would have to spend 5 hours in queue to get a raid to play a DPS because everyone wanted to be a rogue. Everyone wanted to be a hunter, a DPS class, but no one wanted to tank. And so I played a warrior. Okay, I played two of them already. Let's see, there was yeah, two of them. That's right, because my main was a warlock, right? So, anyways, I decided to play a warrior. I made a warrior named Monster, who the name was Alphane, right? And because it's an alpha night elf, so Alphane, right? That and is a night elf warrior, right? And I moved servers basically, um, which whatever. But the point is, I moved to servers. By the way, that's anyways. I'm not getting to it. So I moved servers. I changed the name to Monster, Monstr, the letter R. And the reason why is because I felt bad because I would PvP on this hunter, this warrior, and I had a druid friend. I was like, hey, you should respect so that you can heal more. And she said, I don't want to ever heal. I want to be a feral druid. And honestly, we should have gotten married, but she already had a family, had a kid, and all that shit. But she was a cool chick. That's why I called it Monster because I felt bad for her. But that was a no. That was a no. So, anyways, then I made a warrior named Authentic, and I used him for PvP as well. But I was a main tank on my own. I was in life, in real life, me and a friend always talked about being mercenary because we used to play Resident Evil, and we loved the mercenaries, the whole rogue thing, and doing it yourself. But there was always that team concept in your head as a mercenary. You still a member of a team, right? So even though all that is, anyways, the point is authentic hunter warrior. Right? Well, how do I keep saying hunter? Anyways, warrior, main tank. The point is instant Q. Instead of waiting 5 hours as a rogue, instantly I would get a Q for a dungeon on my warrior. And that's why I played a second warrior. Is because the Qs were instant. I was like, I want to play Onyxia a Q. Dun! And then I'm in Onyxia's lair and I get Onyxia raid. And the only thing that stopped me was you could only run it once a week. That's what it was. Small time instances, you can do all you want, right? But you can't get the loot that makes a big fucking deal. Anyways, the point of all that is because the same is true in League of Legends. The difference, though, is you can actually go into Anixia's lair and you can actually have no tank. That's because they allow that shit in League of Legends. You play and it's like done, whoever you want, wherever you want. It doesn't matter, whatever. Cool, sweet. It doesn't matter. And I'm not saying they should implement a system. I mean, they should. Some people kind of need it, but there's no system. That's why people don't rise. So, anyways, the point is, the only thing that I changed, I'm still the same person. The difference is that I play, again, main tank. I build tanky now. I build nothing but just armor items. That's it. That's it. Staying alive. That's it. Now I win non-stop. That was what we were missing. It's because we in our team composition we had no front line. Never a front line. The tank or who I thought would be the tank wouldn't tank. They would go fucking they'd build one tanky armor or half an item and then build five fucking DPS items thereafter. Not literally, I'm just saying. Right? Most games are two or three items and that's it. But anyways, so that's what it was, and that's why we were losing because they wouldn't be responsible. That was the difference. Why are you not being responsible? You need to be responsible. You need to be aware. You need to pay attention, and people were not. That's why Xin Zhao does so well. Not because you build damage, because you build a tank. Just build tank stuff. And that's what the team needed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You need a tank, potentially an off tank, by the way, someone who kind of take. That's the role I wanted, by the way. Not main tank, but an off tank, right? Because sometimes something does get by, right? The main tank's busy, so sometimes something gets by. I'm like, oh shit. And so I will split off and I'll go pick that guy off to save the AD, for example. That was what I wanted. That's why I love, for example, Riven's support. I played Orion mid because to me that was the best, right? And my partner would be Udyr. He can drive the car. You be the main fucking focus here. I'm the off tank. That's what it was. I'm an off tank, right? In the reality, and that because I was being a shaman, I'm not the main tank. I just throw a heal, I do damage, and I make sure everything's good to go. Oh shit, the DPS is falling behind. Heal, heal, heal. Buff your attack speed. That's good. Heal, heal, heal. Right? Doing damage, doing damage, doing damage. Oh shit, the tank died. I take over real quick. I throw my buffs up. I'm tanking, I'm tanking, I'm tanking, I'm tanking. Tank stands up. He's getting healed. He's getting patched up. He's good to go again. He pulls it off, being like, you know what I'm saying? I can do it. That was the goal. That was the idea. I don't want to do it forever. I can do everything. I jack of all trades, buddy. That's what I am. That's what I do. But the problem was when I played, no one would tank. That was the problem. That was it. No one would tank. So I started to tank. Guess what? Now I can't stop winning. Now I win almost all my games because I frontline exists. All their bullshit, all their fucking the gimmicks and all their exploits and all their cheap tactics that they do, it doesn't work because I'm a tank. They're trying and they're trying and they're trying. It doesn't matter. I'm a tank, buddy. Okay, cool. You heard me. Huh. And then my AD kills the shit out of you because I protected the AD. And so anyways, that was the point. So in League of Legends, you need a tank, potentially an off tank, and then you need a what's it called? So top it can be a bruiser of some sort. Bot lane, if there's no tank on the team, your support could be the tank, right? 100% tank. And then you have an AD, and then you have the caster mid. That's three, and then your jungle that can be an off tank or a DPS, and then top it can be off tank or DPS, right? And what happens is everyone wants to play DPS, and then everyone loses, and then no one wonders why. They say, "Oh, you guys suck." In reality, it's because you didn't have a tank, you didn't have a team. That's all it was. That's why I couldn't climb in Oriana, right? That's why I couldn't play the game because no one fucking wanted to do it. I was mid. You're the support. You're top. You're jungle. Tank. Be the front line that we need. No one wanted to do it. No one was doing it. So I did it. Now I win. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You need that teamwork. Anyways, Godspeed. God bless. Be well, be happy, be safe, be strong. Do not let the door hit you where the Lord split you. I'm out. Take care. Be loved. Have a great day. Be awesome. Smoke cheese. Get blitzed. Have a good day. Peace, guys.